Hi there, it's Mr. Evans here, looking at a video on competition. So we are now working through these bullet points here in the external environment, and we need to consider how each factor in the external environment can affect a business's costs and its demand. So first bullet point is competition. I've defined competition as organisations that are selling substitute goods that are targeted at the same groups of consumers. What do I mean by substitute goods? If I'm a consumer and I've got £10 to spend on dinner, I might go and spend that in the local Chinese takeaway, or I might go and spend it the Indian takeaway. Okay, those aren't necessarily the same products, but they are substitutes for one another. I'm not going to buy both with my £10, I'll buy one or the other. So these organisations are targeting the same groups of consumers. Airlines are in direct competition with each other, for example, but you could argue that airlines are also in competition with ferry companies and train companies. So competition can, it's not just looking at people within the same industry selling exactly the same product. We've got an example of a pretty competitive market there, the UK supermarket industry. There is an argument that those companies aren't all targeting the same consumers. Waitrose and Asda may not be targeting the same groups of customers, but you get an idea about what we mean by competition. These are different types of market. Every market will have different characteristics. We can define the level of competition within a market under certain groups of markets that have different levels of competition within each one. Okay, so a monopoly is a firm with very little competition. A true monopoly is when just one firm dominates the market, hence the aim of the game Monopoly is to get all the properties. Some examples of those firms that are monopolies would be local train companies. Okay, you don't really get a choice of which train company runs your local train service in the UK. Google are really the only search engine that I use. I'm sure there are a couple of others out there, but they've got a large degree of monopoly power. An oligopoly is when a small number of large firms dominate the market. An example of that would be the supermarket industry, the sports clothing industry, Nike, Puma, Adidas, the car manufacturers, UK banks, all examples of oligopolistic markets where a small number of large firms tend to dominate the market. With monopolistic competition, we are getting into smaller types of companies. These are many firms competing in the market selling differentiated products. So, for example, the example I gave about sort of fast food, I'm not talking about McDonald's and Burger King here, I'm more talking about your local kebab shop, local Chinese restaurant, local Indian takeaway. These are all fairly small firms competing with each other on a local basis, selling slightly differentiated products. And then right at the other end, we've got perfect competition where there's many buyers and many sellers in the market with no influence on price. So an example would be in the fruit and veg market. Okay, if I decided to grow a ton of carrots, I could probably do that. It'd be relatively easy for me to enter that market, but I wouldn't really have much impact on the market price. So they are the different ways we can categorise the level of competition within the market, moving from less competitive up here to far more competitive up here. So how does that affect business in terms of their costs? Well, a business in a more competitive market will potentially need to spend more on advertising, which could well drive up costs. They would need to do research and development to ensure that they're bringing out new products. again driving up costs. But of course there's going to be a big incentive for firms in competitive markets to become highly efficient. How can they drive down their prices and pass on those savings to consumers? They're going to be wanting to invest in the newest technology, which is a cost, but with the aim of driving down their unit costs and being able to compete successfully with their competitors. The impact of competition on demand. Well, obviously demand will tend to benefit from competition. Demand really is consumers. They're going to have a wider range of choices where they can spend their money. That should lead to better customer service, better quality, lower prices. A range of benefits for consumers. We would expect that consumers benefit more from competition than businesses, but there is an argument that businesses do benefit from competition themselves. It keeps them motivated, keeps them efficient, keeps them providing a decent service, keeps them on their toes basically. That's the external environment.